Hello everybody, Princess the Bear here. Today we're at Wilderness Lodge.
We are going to Whispering Canyon Café.
Yeah, it's been a bit, so it's time for a revisit.
We haven't been here since they have a limited menu.
Well, so now see how it's evolved during this COVID times.
Sure to ask for ketchup.
You heard the girl.
I got the Mountain Trail because it has moonshine in it. It also has Chambord, blackberry, brandy, wildberry, and lemonade.
This is very heavy, careful.
Thank you. It has a very nice mix of flavor. You can really taste the brandy, which I like. I do not regret getting this drink one bit. I feel like Bear's gonna want to steal it from me, but I'm not swapping.
So Mountains Trail. I'm gonna go trail hiking or whatever it is you do in the mountains. I feel like I wouldn't be bringing this with me. Sort of awakens my soul. Princess is right, I might want to steal this from her, but I'm not gonna take her tasty drink. It's good though, a little bit sugary in the back end, but still above average. 3.5 out of 5 plus.
And he got a spicy marg. Ooh. It's not really spicy, but it's peppery, like jalapeno-y. A little watered down. Not really my jam.
And then, even though this is Wilderness Lodge, I decided to get the most not wilderness drink you can possibly imagine. A margarita. Because margaritas. I like the pepperiness, it gives it some texture. Without being overly tart like most margaritas. I'd say it's above average, but not as good as Princess's drink. 3 out of 5 plus.
Usually I just take the tortilla and just stick it right in this jackfruit dip, but I realize they've given me a spoon, so I'm going to be civilized this time. I'm going to take a chip, grab the spoon, do a nice little spoonful on the chip. This is a huge bite. I'm probably going to regret this. The barbecue sauce is tangy, and the jalapeno or the pepper jack cheese fits perfectly on there. It could use a little bit more sauce. It's quite dry, I would say. We did make this at home. We have a recipe for that. I'll put a link to that in the description box down below, so you can make this at home and make it a little more saucy. And then it'll be good. You can have this with so many different things, not just tortilla chips. The tortilla chips are great, but you can do it with something else. It's still good. Or have it with some chili, some rolls. I don't know. It's very, very good, very versatile appetizer.
Like a little jackfruit pie. We stand jackfruit on this channel. Believe it or not, as weird as it is, you wouldn't think Wilderness Lodge would be one of the best places for plant-based food, but given this, Geyser Grill, Rolling Fork, and then Artist Point when it was open, they have some of the best options of any hotel on Disney property. I just can't wait for everything to open back up again. But this jackfruit dish is one of the bright spots. What you want to do? Order this with friends and not tell them what it is. This is always an amazing dip. 3.5 out of 5 plus.
The waitress was so kind enough to give us some vegan cornbread. So I'm just going to take a little forkful. cornbread is so moist. It's almost like eating cake. I aspire to make cornbread this moist. Mine is usually a little bit drier than this. It's just a perfect balance. I'm sure if you put some corn in it too, it would be even better. Love this cornbread.
I do love a good cornbread. I'm a sucker for it. If we get the ingredients in the house, it's all I want the princess to make until we're out of it. So I have high hopes for this. It's a nice standard cornbread. I wish it was a little bit less moist. But if you hadn't told me that it was plant-based, I would have been none the wiser. 3 out of 5 plus.
We have these lovely quinoa cakes. I must admit that my first time having red quinoa was here at Whispering Canyon. And ever since I had my first quinoa cake here, I bought a bag of quinoa and I was obsessed with eating it. And I still am now. These look very different from the quinoa cakes of the past, with some beautiful garbanzo beans and a salad and some guacamole for some reason. Cakes just kind of fall apart. So they're like mush, they're not really very cakey. I'm just gonna try and get all this. It looks like puke almost. It's one of those dishes that tastes 1,000 times better than it looks. It's like actually, you can taste like some water in there too. Maybe it's not fully, well, it is fully cooked, it's just not fully like seared. I wish it was a little more seared so that they're solid cakes and you could taste that they're maybe a little bit undercooked. That's why they're not fully seared. But the garbanzo beans that are in here are really amazing. The guacamole is good. The salad is dressed. And the dressing is tangy. Maybe this is one of those bowls where you just mix everything up together and eat it instead of eating the quinoa cakes as like individual cakes, like you would eat a crab cake, like you would do, like you did in the past. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I might like the skillet a little bit more, but this is better for like a light dinner versus the skillet that's a lot of food.
I used to joke that all plant-based food is basically just different forms of a salad. Because it's all plants, right? But as we eat more and more of this, it sort of looks like art. Got your little bed of lettuce back here with your garbanzo beans, and then the cakes actually look like cakes until you start touching them, they fall apart on a little bed of avocado. But I am quite curious about this one. I do wish they were a bit more firm to sort of get that cakey feel. But I'm gonna try to get that, some garbanzos. There's some corn underneath there. It's got a good flavor. I think it's just missing the texture. But I would give that a solid 3.5 out of 5 plus. It needs a little bit more to go to a 4, but I like that the flavors are there. And as for the salad, it's got this crunch. It's almost overdressed slightly. A bit wetter than I like my salads, but it's a nice compliment to the cake. It doesn't hold the dish back. It's just missing a little something. Maybe something a little bit crunchier overall in the whole thing. And I'd be set because the garbanzo beans just don't do it. Because they just fall apart like paper in the dish. 3 out of 5 claws for the salad. Overall, I give the plate a solid 3. It's above average, but I don't know if I'd order it again. So, I got a ribeye. I know it's odd. You guys don't see me eat steak very often. Every once in a while I get in the mood. In my mind, I probably should have gotten the fish, but it had a lemon cream fraiche on it, and I did not bring our magic pills. That's on me. But, I mean, who really complains about steak over fish? Probably only a bear. Cooked medium rare, as all things should be. It's got a lovely char to it. Flavored well. Not overly flavored. And it cuts nice and sort of melts in the mouth, like a steak should. I do not regret this choice. It's like a nice home cooked meal. If you're a steak and potatoes guy, steak and potatoes. And one massively absurd and some kind of obscene carrot in the middle. Steak, 3 out of 5 points. These potatoes, nice and warm, slightly buttered. Center potato, nothing to write home about. You could use like some herb garlic or something. And as for this charred carrot, it's like a sweet charred carrot, like honey glaze. They're not sides. They do okay, but they can use a little something more. Overall, it's an average steak. Here's the plate, 3 out of 5 points.
Experiment. Cornbread, jackfruit. I couldn't grab the cheese, but this is going to be good, right? It's different, it's good. It's a nice combination of consistencies. I just love this cornbread, it's so good. Did I order a watermelon moonshine lemonade just to troll Bear? You guys can tell me in the comments. I commit to this mistake.
I feel like this is some payback for something that I did recently. I do it so often I don't really remember. I'm sure you guys do. If you remember why she's forced me to drink this horrible drink, please let me know in the comments. Tastes like dirty city water. With like artificial sweetener in it. 2 out of 5 plus.
You love the watermelons.
Only when there's alcohol in it.
That is alcohol.
You got it too. I gave in. I can't come to a restaurant on Disney property that serves smoked turkey and not order one. I did try, but I gotta have it. Just something about liquid smoke, lemonade, and whiskey that I cannot resist. 5 out of 5 paws. Still on my bare necessities list.
So we have a beautiful rice milk panna cotta with marionberries and strawberries, 100% plant-based and no sugar added. It almost looks like a flan or a dulce de leche. Oh. The rice milk is an interesting flavor. I almost want to try it by itself, but there's this like fruit, like preserved juice that just kind of seeps into it. It's a very odd flavor. Remember those yogurts that you used to get that had the fruit on the bottom and you would like mix it all together? I feel like this is kind of what that is, but rice instead of yogurt. And the rice is kind of a little off-putting. I've never really been a huge fan of rice milk. I thought with the berries it might be a little bit better, but I'm just not a fan. I think if you like rice milk, you'll like this dessert. But if you don't, and you're kind of like me, like about it, you're probably going to be about this dessert. There's just too much of that rice flavor. I think if you gave it like a little bit of vanilla or something, it would probably balance it more.
I have no idea what a panna cotta is, but I do appreciate everything here served in mason jars. I like a commitment to a theme, or a mistake, as you guys will know. So, I'm going to be a heathen, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix all this together. I don't want bland pudding. If you're giving me pudding with fruit on top of it, I'm going to mix it together, for better or worse. Sort of like half of the marriages in America. Don't come for me. It looks kind of gross, I'm not gonna lie. It looks like something you get at Halloween Horror Nights. But I digress. You know, I'm not mad at it. It's less like a fruit pudding and more like a... What are those things that traditional families get their family as gifts every year that they hate? Is it like a fruit cocktail? Fruit jello mold? There they are. It tastes like more like jello than pudding. In a good way, not a bad way. I was just to just eat it and not look at it. Flavor's okay. I'm not trying to order this again though. We've had better desserts. But it's a step in the right direction. 2.5 out of 5 claws. How was Whispering Cafe?
It's been a while, like I've said a few times. It's been a great adventure at Whispering Canyon Cafe. We never have a bad experience.
No, it's always a fun time. The servers are always great. We have a fun time while eating above average food. And what more can you ask for, really?
This is probably one of my favorite places to just randomly go to on a Magic Kingdom day.
Yes, and it makes a good date night, because regardless of what you might be craving, there's quick service, Whispering Canyon, there's Geyser Grill. You can go out and walk next to the geyser, get a drink or two.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good, solid date night.
I love Wilderness Lodge. There's so many amazing things that you can see and do here. Whether you get here on the boat, or you drive in, or you bus in, there's always something new and amazing and incredible here.
Agreed. But we want to know, what do you think of Wilderness Lodge and Whispering Cafe? The comments is going to be the place to let us know. If there's anything here or anywhere else around Seven Seas Lagoon that you would like to see us do, that's going to be the place to let us know. Hit the notification bell if you want to see the videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe.
You heard the girl.
Oh boy.